Research is my passion. Muscle and strength are my pursuits. I'm a powerlifter, bodybuilder, scientist, and coach. I'm Lane Norton. I am a physique architect. Squat! I used to be that guy going into the gym with chicken legs. Why? Because I wouldn't squat. I made up every excuse you can think of as to why I shouldn't squat. They're bad for the knees, they're bad for the back, they're hard. Well, I didn't say that out loud, but I certainly thought it. So I used every other exercise I could think of, and my legs were still tiny. One day I had an epiphany. I'm going to squat over 500 pounds for reps, and I will assume I will get big legs from that. After years and years of work, learning proper technique and programming, I did squat over 500 pounds for reps, with a top squat ever of 655 for a single, and my legs are no longer twigs, I'm happy to say. Guys, if you want big legs, there's one rule: you gotta squat. In this video, I'm going to show you tips and techniques I've learned over the years from working with top coaches in the squat to teach you how to squat more safely and effectively using big weights. Let's get into it. Before I actually get into teaching the squat, there's one aspect of squatting I'd like to talk about that often gets overlooked, and that's equipment. Now, I'm not talking about a bar or a rack. I'm talking about things that you actually put on yourself. Now, I would never tell you that you need equipment to squat. All you need is yourself. But I'm a big fan of things that I can put on and immediately be better. Things that will make you squat more safely and efficiently. The first one is footwear. Most people wear tennis shoes, but unfortunately tennis shoes are one of the worst things you can use. The purpose of a tennis shoe is to distribute the load over your entire foot, and it's also to cushion you against impact. In a squat, you're pressing down against the earth, and physics dictate that the earth presses back up against you. If you have on a cushioned shoe, you're going to lose some of that energy transfer. It's also going to make you unstable. Many of you who squat in sneakers probably notice that you feel like your knees cave in and you're wobbly. So at minimum, you want a hard-soled shoe. Now, I am a huge fan of Olympic lifting squat shoes. The great thing about squat shoes is not only do they have a hard sole, but they also have a slightly elevated heel. This puts you in a more ergonomic position for squatting and allows you to push off your heel and midfoot better. The next piece of equipment I'd like to talk about is a weight belt. I'm not talking about your weight belts that are flimsy and Velcro. I'm talking about a buckled belt that's made of stiff leather. A good belt will give something for your abdominal core to brace against. This will protect your lower back and keep you more upright during a squat. Now, many people ask me, Lane, but if I wear a belt, my core will get less activation and it will weaken my core. That's actually not true. The research shows that wearing a belt, if anything, increases core activation for two reasons. One, wearing a belt gives you something to actively push out against, and so your abdominal wall pushes against it harder. Two, you can use more weight and thus get more core activation. One other thing about wearing a belt is most people don't wear it properly. They wear it too low. It is not meant to go around your waist. It is meant to go around where your abdominal wall is going to push out during a squat. So I prefer to wear it a little bit higher than most people wear it. As for what kind of belt, I just recommend buying a belt from a reputable company that is either 10 or 13 millimeter that's 4 inches thick. Another piece of equipment we should talk about is knee sleeves and knee wraps. I personally prefer knee sleeves for a multitude of reasons. The biggest of which is that knee wraps simply take too long to get on and off. They'll slow you down during your workout, and further, there is some evidence that placing that kind of pressure on the patella may not be optimal. Also, when I'm using weights, I like to know that I'm moving the weight, and I'm not getting a PR just simply because I wrap my knees tighter. With knee sleeves, you get a consistent pressure each time that's repeatable. It's also going to make you easy to get on and off. Many of you who squat sneakers the knee joint probably and provide some level of protection. The next piece of equipment I recommend isn't really equipment, but still important. So at minimum, good chalk. Now people might say, what the heck do you need chalk for? You want a hard we'll discuss coming up. Now bar position can make a huge difference. And in a low bar squat, chalk can help keep the bar on your back and keep it from rolling. Olympic lifting. So I recommend getting a good block of chalk and using that to help keep the bar in position on your back while you squat. Not only do they They also have slightly elevated